Okay, hello everyone. Today is a book review. Last night I finished Raw by Cora Carmack. This was June's Fairyloot book, and I didn't know anything about it when I opened it up. I read the synopsis and thought it sounds good. This is a YA fantasy dealing with magic, romance, and finding out who you are in more ways than one. The story follows Aurora, who is a stormling princess who's being forced into marriage in order to save her kingdom, because in this world storms are powerful, storms have magic, and only stormlings, those people with magic, can control the storm and keep everybody safe. She's a stormling princess without any magic, and that's a problem. And so her mother, who has decided, look, I'm not losing anybody else, we're not losing the throne, we'll get you married to a stormling prince from another town, and he'll take care of everything, you can produce an heir, and everything will be fine. And of course Aurora doesn't really want to do that. She's had to live her whole life keeping this big secret, because, you know, if it comes out that she's got no magic, that's it. There'll be rival families trying to fight for the throne. And of course, you know, her family doesn't want to lose the throne. It's meant that she's had to keep herself closed off, keep her emotions down. She's had to push away any friends that she probably had. And nobody's really allowed to get too close to her. And suddenly she's thrust into this situation where she's supposed to be getting married. And things seem to be going great, until a few chapters in, and she discovers actually the man she's marrying, he's not a nice guy. He's got his own purpose, his own reasons for wanting to marry her, and she's not sure if this is such a good idea anymore, but she can't see a way out. They need magic to keep the kingdom safe. She has none. Until one day she finds out, actually, you can capture your own magic from storms. You don't have to be helpless. You don't have to marry this guy if you don't want to. There is another way out. And that's the thrust of this plot. Aurora taking control and deciding, I'm going to do something that I want to do that's going to help my kingdom. And in the process, she finds out an awful lot about the kingdom, the stormlings, the storms, that she didn't know anything about, that's been kept from her for various reasons. And it's quite interesting seeing her discover all this new information and actually realising that the stormlings aren't as wonderful as they were made out to be. And it's quite an interesting way of this information coming out. I'm not going to spoil it because it's the first of a series, and there are some big developments that happen in this tale to Aurora, and to tell you too much of the plot would just ruin that, so I'm not going to do that. What I will say is this is a very well written story. It's quite descriptive. It goes along at a good old pace. I've never felt bored by this story. It's got some interesting concepts about storms and magic and how things can be controlled. And I do like Aurora. I think she's a woman of many complexities. She's very conflicted. She's been one thing all her life, and she feels like she's a failure because she's not got magic. And she's also had to keep secrets all her life. And to see her sort of come and realise, actually, I can be okay, that I don't have to be ashamed, that I don't have magic, that's all right. And her general realisation of who she is and what she can be, that's quite interesting reading that as we go along. The romance aspect in this story, I wasn't quite expecting it. It's a little bit of a trope. Again, I'm not going to spoil it. But when you start reading it and the romance develops into a full-fledged, actually, yes, we are attracted to each other, it's quite, it's almost sweet, but then there are other factors having a control in that romance. And so that does influence Aurora quite a bit. So I really enjoyed Raw. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, whatever that means. You know, my 5 stars is very different to somebody else's 5 stars, but I really enjoyed it. I would certainly say if you want a romancy, fantasy, magic-based story about a young woman taking control of her life and stipulating who she is going to be and the kind of person that she is going to be, then you will probably enjoy Raw. It's the first of a series. I think Cora said it was going to be a trilogy, which would be fun, but I don't know where it's going on my bookcase. And I have to say, it ends on one hell of a cliffhanger. It's like, oh, we're going to just leave it there. Right. It does sort of hit you out the blue. I was kind of expecting for a little bit more of a, like an ending, but no, it just, which was a bit of a shock. And I don't know when the next one's coming out. I think it's next year. It seems to be the trend at the moment with the series I've picked up. But yeah, apart from that, I really enjoyed the story. And there are a couple of tropes in there. There are a few scenes for you to think, oh yeah, that's going to happen. But it was enjoyable. I will give a quick heads up. There is threat of rape in this book. It's only ever threat. It never goes any further than that. But if that's a trigger for you, then just be aware that happens a bit later on in the book. But apart from that, this is quite a safe, fun read. So that's my thoughts on Raw. Have anybody else out there read it? Please let me know what you thought of it, which are your favourite bits. Certainly, I quite like a lot of the supporting characters in this story. I think Bait could be a lot of fun, particularly in the next book. And I really like Jinx. I think she's quite a barrel of laughs, to be honest. I quite enjoy her character. Let me know what you think. Leave comments below. Leave me links to your videos. That'd be great. Please follow me on Goodreads, Twitter and Instagram. I'm desperately trying to complete the Crashathon at the moment, and Raw is the first book I've actually managed to finish in the Crashathon. It doesn't help I keep having more than 3 books on the go. And this weekend is also the 24 in 48, so I will be doing a lot on that on Instagram, and you can follow my progress if you want to. You don't have to. But anyway, all the links for that are down below in the description box. Thank you very much for watching. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.